Heavyweight Showdown.
This should be explosive.
Illuminati, a secret society do exist.
Do you like this action? This one is gonna be good. Oh, nice shot. And we welcome you to the Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. The house that the Great One built. But tonight it's all about World Extreme Cage Fighting as we go international. The WEC is available in Spanish through the SAP setting on your television. And hello once again, fight fans. Happy Father's Day, one and all. The WEC has now gone international as we have come north to our neighbors. And what a great place to bring the premier artists of MMA. Alongside my colleague, UFC standout Kenny Florian, I'm Todd Harris. Glad to have you with us tonight. We have got a great card for you in our main event. It is Jamie Varner trying to get back on track, but he will have his hands full with a very dangerous Kamal Shalarus.
This is a fantastic fight. This is a huge fight for Jamie Varner to get back to that title picture. I mean, certainly you can make a strong case for the winner getting a title shot. Jamie Varner comes in with a wrestling background, but it's really his striking, and I think that really needs to get the win. Very, very fast hands. He's got excellent defensive wrestling skills. He's going to need those against Kamal Shalarus, who comes in with a world-class pedigree in wrestling, came from Iran. So you know they have some great wrestlers over there, but what's impressive about him is his power. If he lands a big one, he can take you out.
Well, we've taken the WEC International, so what we thought we'd do is put together an all-national team in our co-main event. It's all Canadian, as we have got Yves Jabouin taking on the machine, Mark Hominick, two Canadians getting after it on home soil.
You know, I really think this is going to be the fight of the night. These guys are so dynamic, so well-rounded, very, very fast. You got Mark Hominick, who comes in with some excellent boxing skills. He puts together some of the best striking combinations you'll see in mixed martial arts. He's very experienced, trains with a great camp. He's got dangerous submissions that you can see right there. And, he's going against Yves Jabouin, who really comes in with a lot of the same skills. He has tremendous wrestling, very, very fast on his feet, versatile striker. I can't wait to see this fight, Todd.
It's an all-Canadian event in the co-main event. Let's take a look at the rest of our action-packed card here in Alberta. In a featherweight bout, Josh Crispy versus L.C. Davis. Crispy returns to the cage after a year-long recovery from injury to battle the 16-2 L.C. Davis, who has racked up an undefeated 3-0 record in the WEC. Also in a lightweight bout, Chris Horodecki takes on Danny Downs. London, Ontario native Horodecki puts his knockout power to the test against undefeated Downs, making his WEC debut in what has all the makings of a stand-up war. And in our first fight of the night, the former bantamweight champion Eddie Wineland will take on the hard-hitting Will Campuzano.
Will's a striker, I'm a striker. I think you'll see a 3-round stand-up war.
I'm definitely going to put my fist to his chin, and my game plan is to knock him out.
Always looking for the knockout. That's my preferred way to finish a fight. I'll take a win any way I can get it.
A victory over Eddie Wineland is going to make everyone pay attention and know that I'm going to be one of the elite fighters in the WEC.
My ultimate goal is getting that belt back, and it starts tonight with me knocking out Will.
Final preparations are being made in the locker rooms as Eddie Wineland and Will Campuzano get set to battle inside the cage. The WEC on Versus is brought to you by Hand-Cooked Tires. Tame the road with Hand-Cooked Tires. And by Amp Energy. Amp Energy is letting the fans decide where to hold a WEC event. Vote for your area at ampenergy.com/WEC. Plus, hit up your nearest Hess or Maverick and enter to win a trip to the fight. On a beautiful night on Father's Day in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, World Extreme Cage Fighting has gone international as we welcome you to Rexall Place. And we'd like to welcome our Canadian viewers watching on The Score, home of the hardcore. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Eddie Wineland taking on Will Campuzano in a bantamweight bout. Wineland, 25 years of age, 5'7", 135.5 pounds. His reach, 69 inches. For Will Campuzano, 24 years of age, 5'9", 136, and a 70-inch reach. We now send it inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Rexall Place in Edmonton, Canada for WEC 49. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds in the WEC Bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a striker, holding a professional record, 7 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, Will Campuzano. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 16 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 135.5 pounds. Fighting out of Chesterton, Indiana, Eddie Wineland. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Jaron Vallell.
Gentlemen, bring it in. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. If you'd like to touch gloves, do so now. Come out ready to fight.
Our ways to win here at the WEC, 3 judges score the bout. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must system is in effect with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less. It's all based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and of course, cage control. So we are set to go in Edmonton. This bantamweight bout scheduled for 3 rounds. A lot of speed on display here, Kenny Florian.
This is a great fight right here. Big fan of Campuzano, who comes into the cage with some very technical striking, very good ability to avoid the ground game, has a very good triangle choke, and Wineland comes in with some very good head movement, but what he does is he lowers his hands down very low, and against a good kicker like Campuzano, he has to be very careful. Even just a good puncher, I mean, you always got to protect your chin. And Wineland kind of keeps his chin out there and lowers his hands. He's very relaxed and has excellent head movement. But you have to be careful when you have a very skilled striker like Campuzano in front of you.
Do you think that's a case of Wineland being overconfident in his speed and head movement?
I think it's kind of his way of being relaxed, so he doesn't want to tense up with his shoulders, and he's just used to getting away with it. But it's a tough lesson to learn in the cage. And say, wow, I wish I kept my hands up more.
I wish Kenny Florian would have told me that before the fight. Will Campuzano happy to meet the pace that Eddie Wineland likes to work at. As Kenny Florian pointed out, both extremely superior strikers.
Wineland is very good, though, in moving his head and coming right back with a nice combination with his hands. And he's got a lot of power. He knocked out Antonio Banuelos, who's a tremendous fighter at 135 pounds. And so you know he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of experience. Good wrestler as well.
Wineland doing an excellent job that last time. Will Campuzano came with a leg kick. He caught it, held it there for a second, and delivered a straight right.
You can see the angles that he gets off. He's got very good footwork. moves left, moves right. A lot of movement from Wineland. It's very tough to fight guys like that. You don't know if they're coming, if they're going. Kicks, punches. Great way to confuse your opponent. And Wineland certainly has that dynamic striking style, but Campuzano, more of a traditional striker, and he's devastating. Once he gets his rhythm going, he'll start to pick you apart, and Wineland cannot let him get that rhythm. There, Campuzano got a little bit off balance, got a little excited, and that's the kind of angles that he's creating. He keeps his opponents off balance, and Wineland really is doing a great job of that. Very, very relaxed.
Eddie Wineland does such a great job of changing angles. He's a moving target. He'll attack from different angles. Will Campuzano brings that kicking power that he has, and Wineland's got to start checking up on those.
Yep, and because of that movement again, you know, Campuzano hasn't quite found his range yet. He is the taller fighter. He's got the better range, better reach. Campuzano needs to start establishing that jab. And eventually that's going to open up the rest of his striking game for him.
And once again, Eddie Wineland able to come in and get in a close range. Both fighters coming off victories. Campuzano with a decision over Ox Wheeler. And Eddie Wineland, a 3-round decision over George Root.
Wineland hit a very nice body kick earlier. Nice lead left body kick. A nice leg kick by Campuzano right there. And that's going to slow down that crazy movement of Wineland.
Under 90 seconds here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3 in the bantamweight division. Eddie Wineland, a former champion here, and he gets with the straight right that time. Sends Will Campuzano back, but Campuzano quick to retaliate and get back to his feet.
Beautiful right hand. I mean, that's so well timed. Wineland really doing a great job of countering, and this is his strength really as a counter fighter. He gets in and gets out, but he'll get just out of reach of that punch, and he'll return with 2 or 3 punches, and he's very accurate when he returns.
Yep.
Will Campuzano in the white trunks, born in Mexico, now fighting out of Dallas, Texas. And Eddie Wineland out of Indiana, the former bantamweight champion. He's a full-time firefighter. And what a devastating kick from Campuzano as we go under 30 seconds.
And that's exactly why Wineland needs to keep his hands up. I mean, right there, that will take your head off. A kick like that, Campuzano really had bad intentions on that kick. And he needs to set it up a little bit better. Instead of just throwing one kick, he's got to set it up with his hands. And that will find its mark, guaranteed. Great leg catch and return from Wineland.
And
nice
we are just getting started here. This is round number 1. We'll go to a second round after this.
We talked about the kicking game of Campuzano, but the problem with the kicks is that a hand will always beat you. You know, a hand will get there first. And Wineland, with his timing, landed it first. And he did a great job of countering that leg kick. And this fight is definitely heating up.
Watching the action during that break, Eddie Wineland clearly more relaxed fighter in his corner. Will Campuzano not winded, because I wouldn't question his fitness, but he looks frustrated.
Yeah, you know, it's tough going against an unorthodox fighter like this. A lot of movement, but he's on the right track. Campuzano needs to slow him down. He needs to chop down that leg, and that will get him going at that pace, and it will open up the rest of his striking game for him. He also needs to try to establish that jab here, and he did right there.
Campuzano has the slight reach advantage by 1 inch, and I agree with exactly what you're saying about chopping down with that leg. If he can establish that inside leg kick, he's going to slow Wineland from coming in.
Yep, he just needs to be careful with that right hand counter that we saw in that first round. From here, Campuzano's starting to find his range. What he needs to start doing is not just throw one strike. He needs to come with a 1, 2, 3, and then finish with a kick either on the leg or go upstairs. And with Wineland dropping his hands, it could pay off big for him.
I want to remind you to follow the WEC at twitter.com/WEC on Versus.
Wineland's doing the right things here. I mean, he's using a lot of movement. He's continuing with a lot of feints. And it's really frustrating Campuzano. But again, Wineland needs to keep those hands up. He needs to respect that kicking game of Campuzano.
Despite the fact they're only separated by 1 year, Eddie Wineland has much more experience with a record of 16-6-1. Will Campuzano comes in at 7-1. His only loss via rear naked choke to Damasio Page back in 2009.
Nice right hand. You can see the feint. He'll dance left, he'll dance right, leap in with a left hook or a right hand. He's mixing it up very, very well. And Campuzano just can't quite find his rhythm out there.
Great exchange by both fighters. We looked back to round number 1. Would you have to give that one to Eddie Wineland?
I think so. I think he landed with a little bit more damage on his punches. It was a very close one, though, and you never know when it goes to the judges. You never know what angle they saw. They missed an exchange. We've seen some pretty crazy decisions in mixed martial arts. And if it's up to these guys, I'm sure they want to determine it by their own hands. Nice kick by Campuzano to the body of Wineland. Eddie did catch it. Wasn't quite able to counter there. And Campuzano's starting to get off now with a little bit more than just one punch. And that's what he needs to do. He needs to stay busier because Wineland is staying very busy. Nice leg kick there.
Wineland, Will Campuzano, round number 2, scheduled for 3 here in the bantamweight division of the WEC as we go under 90 seconds in round number 2.
What is pretty to watch from Wineland is how he throws a strike, gets his head out of the way. A lot of nice head movement. That's going to stop those straight punches of Campuzano from landing. And if it does land on his head, by moving your head, you take a lot of the power away from that punch.
Wow, what a combination for Eddie Wineland.
Campuzano.
Campuzano's in trouble. And Wineland's going to work.
He's finishing. He smells blood. He's going to finish this fight right here. Campuzano was hurt. Wineland landed big with that shot. He's trying to put an end to this fight right now. Wow!
How do you like that?
What a comeback by Campuzano, and he's throwing big knees at Wineland. And Wineland may have gassed himself out a little bit. But Campuzano, I think, is still a little bit hurt. He's rocked.
He catches another right, and another right from Eddie Wineland.
These are big shots now from Wineland. There's not much time left. Body shot.
That is it. That is it.
What a brutal body shot from Wineland. Landed it right in the body of Campuzano that put him down, and he finished him on the ground.
Oh my! Take a look at this one more time, fight fans.
Right in the sternum. You know, for anyone who says body shots aren't that effective, what about that one? Devastating shot. Wineland showing the kind of power that he possesses. What a fight.
Is it the return of the champion? We'll talk to him. We return to Edmonton, Alberta after this. Welcome back to Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. At the conclusion of this bantamweight bout, we go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jaron Bellel has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 44 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Eddie Wineland.
So Eddie Wineland runs his record to 17-6-1. He's now standing by with Craig Hummer.
Eddie, you won the crowd over in the first round. They loved what you were doing. You knew you were destined to throw down in the center of this ring, didn't you?
Absolutely. Will's a scrapper. I knew he had long legs, good kicks and knees. Try to keep away from those, and I think I did a pretty good job of that.
Speaking of Will, how impressed were you with he withstood your barrage in that second round until that final crippling body shot?
It was very, very impressive. I thought when he dropped the first time, I thought I was going to put him out. I was waiting for the ref to grab me, but he didn't grab me, so just keep on pummeling and hope he hope he pulls me off.
You're the first man to have this belt in this bantamweight division. You've now thrown a string of 3 wins together. How pleased are you with your progression to getting back towards a chance for that belt again?
Very pleased. Actually, everybody that's been helping me, I can't thank them enough. They're pushing me in the right direction, so I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to get that hardware back.
You proved you're doing the right thing tonight. Congratulations. Eddie Wineland, everybody.
Eddie Wineland gets the victory in an impressive fashion in the second round. This August, the UFC returns live to Versus. Young phenom John Jones takes on veteran striker Vladimir Yatashenko in a showdown of 2 of the world's premier light heavyweight fighters. The UFC on Versus live August 1st at 9 Eastern, 9 o'clock Eastern on Versus. Still to come in our main event of the night, former lightweight champion Jamie Varner takes on undefeated Iranian-born Kamal Shalarus. And in our co-main event, 2 Canadian fighters meet in the cage. Mark Hominick versus Yves Jaboué in a featherweight showdown. Also in the featherweight division, 21-year-old Josh Grisby takes on L.C. Davis. But coming up next, lightweights Chris the Polish Hammer Horodecki and Danny Boy Downs will put their stand-up game to the test.
My opponent's coming in first fight in the WEC. It's his first time under the hot lamps. It's a tough fight, and I'm no easy task.
Everyone expects me to kind of go in there like I'm being led to slaughter, but when I go in there, in the first 5 seconds, everyone's going to realize, and Chris Horodecki's going to realize that I can come here to lay down for anyone.
Danny's a tough kid. You know, he's similar to myself. He's a striker, but I'm better. I'm faster. I'm stronger. I've been in there before. You know, I've got the experience. This is my fight to win.
He's going to be surprised at the power I come with him, so I hope he kept that same doctor from his last fight on retainer.
He's undefeated. He's got that mindset, you know, of not being able to lose. But I'm going to take his O.
I know I'm going to walk in there. There's going to be a hostile crowd. They're going to be cheering for the hometown guy. But I guarantee you by the end of the night, there's going to be a lot more Danny Boy fans in Canada and all across the world.
The lightweights are making their final preparations. Chris Horodecki versus Danny Downs when we return to Edmonton. Welcome back to Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as the WEC goes international for the first time on Father's Day. And we are set to go in the lightweight division. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Chris Horodecki, 22 years of age, 5'8", weighed in at 154 pounds. His reach, 69.5 inches. His opponent, Danny Downs, 24 years of age, 6 feet tall, 156. His reach, 72 inches. We now go inside the cage. That is where Bruce Buffer has our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the WEC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 6 wins, no losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Danny Boy Downs. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 154 pounds, fighting out of London, Ontario, Canada, Chris the Polish Hammer Horodecki. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is John Brack.
All right, gentlemen, you both know the rules. I expect you to fight clean, fight fair, fight hard. Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all time. Touch them up. Good luck.
So we are scheduled for 3 rounds. No question who has the hometown favorite. It's Danny Boy Downs taking on Chris Horodecki. Are you ready? You ready? Fight!
This is probably the best shape I've ever seen Horodecki in. You know, it's great seeing these 2 guys in there. I mean, they look like they're about 13 years old. You know, these are the kind of guys you'd pick on if you ever saw, you know, these guys at the bar. and they're as dangerous as they come. It's awesome to see it.
Danny Downs taking this fight on short notice, filling in for an injured fighter that was scheduled to fight Chris Horodecki. So kudos to him right off the bat. And from what we hear from him, he is not afraid to stand and just throw.
Both of these guys like to throw down. They both like to get in there and scrap and be in a war. And Horodecki gets the first takedown here. He's in a good position in half guard, putting a lot of pressure with that shoulder on the face of Danny Downs. And Downs did a great job of establishing that underhook and getting back to his feet, but he finds himself in a very tight guillotine here. But unfortunately for Horodecki, he's just, all of his weight is on his left shoulder, so it's tough for him to crank and get leverage on that guillotine. And I don't think he's going to be able to finish it here. Instead of pushing down on that knee, Danny Downs should probably be trying to grab that wrist to alleviate the pressure on his neck. But perhaps there's really no pressure on his neck, and he's just trying to push down on that knee in the hopes of just getting into half guard there.
Well, you wonder how much energy Chris Horodecki is expelling right there, and eventually decides, you know what, the guillotine's not going to work. Danny Downs in the black trunk, Chris Horodecki in the white trunks.
Nice defense from Danny Downs. Horodecki still has him in a front headlock and working for another takedown.
How much pressure do you think Chris Horodecki's under? He's Canadian, obviously fighting in his home country, coming off a loss to Anthony Njokuani.
Don't grab the cage.
You know, Horodecki, he's young, but he has a lot of experience. You know, he experienced a loss in his last fight and looking to come back strong here. I think he's using that energy from the crowd to fuel him here. He's an emotional fighter, and I think he's very motivated by it here, and definitely putting the pressure on Downs right from the start.
And Downs, with that height advantage, can just go to a beautiful defensive sprawl and let Horodecki just burn energy.
He can, but it also makes himself susceptible to the leg attacks because he is so upright. So he needs to get a little bit lower because of that reach, and there he gets taken down with a nice body lock from Horodecki.
Downs controlling the head, trying to control the distance, limit the damage. Horodecki happy to keep him up against the fence.
Danny Downs almost worked a nice escape there, pushed off the fence, trying to roll himself up and under Chris Horodecki. Horodecki needs to pin Danny up against that fence and use it to his advantage. From here, he's trying to push down on that knee, try to go to mount, and he can right there. He almost had the opportunity. He's going to do that right here. He needs to slide that knee right into mount, and he is there, right in the mount position. Great job by Horodecki, transitioning to a very dangerous rear naked choke position, and Danny Downs could be in some big trouble here.
Well, Danny Downs gives up the back there, trying to fight off Horodecki. And Kenny, I got to ask you, in your training situations, how many times do you put yourself into a bad place like this and just see how you can get out of it?
You have to. You know, there's a time where I didn't do it so much. And you have to. You have to put yourself in these bad positions so you can be prepared. You know, it's not about your ego. It's not about putting yourself in good positions. You've got to put yourself in these bad positions. I'm sure Danny Downs has done that. He trains with a lot of talented guys, both on the feet and on the ground. And you got to think that he has seen this position before, but it's such a strong position that regardless of how much you've worked it, you're at such a disadvantage. But Downs has worked his way back, survived the choke, and now has the ability to take Horodecki's back. This is a great fight here, Todd.
Under 30 seconds to go here in round number one. This one's scheduled for 3 in Alberta. Downs did a great job there defending that rear naked choke by dropping his chin down, not letting Horodecki sink it in too deep.
He did, but he needs to break away from this clinch. Horodecki looks at this point to be the stronger fighter. He's dominating the clinch action. He's got to break away from here.
Again, let go.
Back at Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the start of round number 2 in the lightweight division. Danny Downs in the black trunks, Chris Horodecki in the white trunks. The Canadian, he's known as the Polish Hammer, and both fighters come out, and it's Downs whose corner said, let's just stick to the boxing, go with the combinations, get in and get out.
Sean Tompkins, the cornerman, head cornerman for Horodecki, told him, all right, now we're going to strike with him. And it's going to send a lot of confusion to Danny Downs, who was thinking he's going to try to go and take him down, and now he's coming with a different strategies. And it's opening up the striking for Horodecki, and I think it's a brilliant game plan here. Horodecki won that first round based on his grappling, and now he's winning based on his striking here in the second round. This is a much more crisp Horodecki than what we saw in his last fight. He looks fast, he looks controlled, he's mixing up his game, and he just hurt Danny Downs with the right hand, in my opinion. Downs returns, beautiful spinning side kick there from Horodecki that landed right on the body of Downs. And that has slowed Danny Downs down.
Well, he has no answer for that. His defense on that is just to duck his head down.
Yeah, no, that body shot with that kick has slowed him down. That has hurt him. Horodecki should go after him, and he's landing a lot of shots to the head of Danny Downs right now. Horodecki's in control, just putting together some beautiful combinations. Classic Sean Tompkins style, that Dutch style of Muay Thai. Fluid hand combinations, finished by nice low kicks.
Don't grab it, Chris. Come on.
Referee John Brack warning Chris Horodecki multiple times not to grab the cage.
Horodecki is kind of having his way here with Danny Downs, who is just unable to get anything going here. I think he really confused him as he entered into the second round with a strategy of putting together very fast combinations and getting right into his face. I think Danny expected him to try to take him down, which is going to get him to hesitate on his striking.
All right, going to the corner of Danny Downs. What are you telling him? What does he need to do to turn this fight around?
He needs to use his reach. He needs to keep Horodecki on the outside. He needs to start landing
don't grab it.
some kicks, some punches here, and use his footwork, because Horodecki is getting in, landing strikes, and getting out whenever he wants. Nice job for Danny here and scrambling to position to get back to his feet. But he's just defending. Horodecki has been leading the dance here this whole fight.
Under 2 minutes to go here in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3 in the lightweight division. And right now, Chris Horodecki continues to rush with his momentum.
He just can't get his range. For a taller fighter, you'd expect him to get his range right off the bat, but he can't. Horodecki is mixing it up too well, and he just cannot get on to what he's doing. This is where experience plays a big part. You know, Danny Downs still very young, only 6 fights on his record to Horodecki's 15 professional fights, and that's huge. More than twice the amount of fights at Danny Downs, and you can see it. Horodecki's just more comfortable, and Downs is trying to figure out a way to stop the striking and grappling game of Horodecki.
Under a minute to go now in round number 2. We are scheduled for 3. Chris Horodecki in control in the white trunks. Danny Downs fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the black trunks.
Downs is tired.
Yep.
Downs is very tired. He expended a lot of energy in that first round trying to out-grapple Horodecki. And now, emotions are coming to play, frustration, the body shots, and you can see his slow down considerably.
Well, there's just no sting in the punches of Downs. He's not threatening at all.
Yep, he's not as explosive as he was, obviously, in the first round. Horodecki is still very crisp. He's the faster guy in there, and he's making Danny Downs pay now.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 2. We will see a third and final round when we return to Edmonton, Canada.
Look at this beautiful combination here from Chris Horodecki, going downstairs, going upstairs, and many times he's finishing those combinations with leg kicks as well, which is just devastating. Danny Downs here. Duke Rufus, the head corner man for Danny Downs, said, you want to win this fight, you got to go out there and get it. And he is. He's getting much more aggressive now. He's going after Chris Horodecki. Horodecki counters that aggressiveness, that forward pressure from Danny Downs with a takedown. And a great way to stop that momentum. Great job by Horodecki, Todd.
This is the third and final round. Chris Horodecki has been in control for much of the fight, but Danny Downs comes out with a flurry.
He needed to. He needs to do that. He needs to get back to his feet and continue with that, because it was a clear victory in those first 2 rounds for Horodecki. Dominated those 2 rounds. And here he is in another good position on the back of Danny Downs, and this may be the end here.
This time he may have the leverage he needs to end this. His chin is not down.
Yeah, he's got it underneath the chin, and he's has to tap out.
That is it.
We saw a different Chris Horodecki in this fight, Todd. He looked determined. He was sharp, whether it was on the ground or on his feet. Horodecki was ready for this fight. You know, great example of coming back from the loss, coming back strong. He was motivated by this Canadian crowd, and he put on a phenomenal performance here. Here he is taking the back. He had Danny Downs on all fours. Danny Downs trying to walk away, crawl away, whatever he could do, but he left his neck available. Slid the arm underneath the chin, and it was all over, Todd.
So Chris Horodecki gets the victory on home soil. We'll talk to him when we return to Edmonton. Welcome back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as we go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Brack has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 9 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Chris, the Polish Hammer, Horodecki.
So Chris Horodecki defends home soil. He's now standing by with Craig Hummer.
Chris, congratulations. Let's talk about how it seemed as though you were able to create opportunities at will, but how frustrating was it for you in that first round that you weren't able to finish it?
Yeah, Danny is super tough. Danny, thank you, man, for stepping up. The plate was, tough last week. Things got switched around. I want to thank them. He's a tough Irish kid. My hat's off to him.
Speaking of which, you weren't fazed by the change of opponents, but did it change at all the last few days of your preparation?
It was difficult. You're 4 days out. It's real close to the fight. Prepared for a particular style. I was just happy to fight here in Canada for you guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Came out, London, Ontario.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about this crowd. It's the first time in 4 years you've been able to fight in your home country. How motivating were all these guys?
Love it, guys. Thank you, guys. WC's in the house. Thanks, Team Tompkins. Kibo Robinson, Rowan Cunningham, Clint Kingsbury, Sean Tompkins. All you guys, it's Father's Day back home. Happy Father's Day.
Enjoy the win, the victor, Chris Horodecki.
And a reminder, coming up next, it's a special live ground and pound edition of the Daily Line on Versus. WEC insider Ariel Helwani joins the cast to break down all of tonight's cage fighting action. Plus, don't miss Rob's picks of the night and Jen's web streaming now at Versus.com. The Daily Line, live next, right here, only on Versus. MMA fans, this is your chance to bring the WEC to your hometown. Cast your vote in Amp Energy's Hometown Takedown Contest by going to ampenergy.com/WEC. And if your city finishes on top, the WEC will bring the action right to you this December. You can vote up to 10 times per day through July 31st. And just by voting at your nearest Hess or Maverick store today, you also become eligible to win a trip to the fight, even if your city doesn't get picked. Hometown Takedown. Make your vote count. Coming up next, Craig Hummer will catch up with lightweight contender Anthony Showtime Pettis and discuss his August bout with Shane Roller. And still to come, Jamie Varner versus Kamal Shalarus. Former lightweight world champion Varner starts his quest back to the title when he meets the undefeated world-class wrestler Kamal Shalarus.
There's a lot of ways for him to win, but I feel that there are a lot of ways for me to win. I'm very heavy-handed as well, and my submission game I feel is far superior.
I'm ready for this fight, and I'm going to beat Jamie Varner. I'm going to show the world I'm the #1 in the world. I'm best in the world.
The WEC on Versus is brought to you by Mobil 1, the world's leading synthetic motor oil brand. Step up to Mobil 1 at your next oil change. And by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Welcome back to World Extreme Cage Fighting from Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Next stop on the WEC Tour is Las Vegas, Nevada, with a star-studded card in August.
A new champion is ready for a long reign, while an old enemy waits for his shot at revenge. Dominic Cruz defends his title for the first time in a rematch against #1 contender Joseph Benavidez. Plus, in his bantamweight debut, the California kid Uriah Faber takes on Japanese sensation Takeya Mitsugaki. World Extreme Cage Fighting presents Cruz versus Benavidez, live Wednesday, August 18th, from the Pearl Theater at the Palms Casino Resort, only on Versus.
Looking forward to that bout August 18th at the Palms in Las Vegas, Nevada. Another fighter that we'll see there standing by with our Craig Hummer cage side.
Todd, some people are calling this the best card the WC has ever put together, and the guy sitting next to me is going to be on that card, Anthony Pettis. Anthony, before we get to your fight in August, talk about what you were just doing with Danny Downs. You were cornering for him. What'd you tell him before that last round?
Man, he took the fight on a 2-day notice, man. The kid's tough. He did a great job in there for taking the fight on a 2-day notice. We just didn't want him to, we thought he was going to stand with us, but, you know, Chris is a well-rounded fighter, so, I mean, he did a great job.
You're talking about how you're just getting camp started. What's the toughest thing for you once camp gets going?
Toughest thing's diet, man. I mean, the fight's fun, training's fun. It's just dieting down to get to that weight. I mean, it's a tough task.
Everybody that's in this game wants to eventually have the belt around their waist. This isn't going to be a title fight, but it's going to get you one step closer. How hard is it not to look past Shane Roller?
I'm looking at Shane Roller, man. He's in my way for my belt, and that's what I want. So he's in my way, and I'm going to take it to him.
When you look at the attributes that he brings to the cage, what are you most fearful of, or what do you have to be most cognizant of?
I'm not afraid of anything he got. So he has a good takedown. He's a wrestler. I feel I'm a well-rounded fighter, better than he is. So, I mean, if he takes me down, I got a submission waiting for him.
You and I haven't spent much time in Canada. Yesterday, you got a little grief from the crowd that you hadn't tried Tim Hortons yet. Have you had some?
I just had some last night. A fan from the weigh-ins bought me some Tim Hortons. It was good. It was real good.
This crowd knows how good it is, and Todd, it's going to be great in August.
No question about it. Thank you, Craig, and thank you, Anthony. As we take a look at that August 18th card, and wow, take your pick. Craig wasn't kidding. This thing is loaded. Dominic Cruz and Joseph Benavidez getting together yet again, Kenny.
Yeah, since that loss to Dominic Cruz, I mean, Benavidez has looked great, and his fights leading up to it. I think it's going to be exciting to see what kind of adjustments he's made. Very explosive fighter. I think Dominic Cruz mixed it up very, very well. He was in and out, and I think that confused Benavidez, but he'll be ready this time around. He's been making a lot of adjustments, and I think that first fight helped him a lot to understand the kind of game that Cruz brings in there.
Also on the card, Uriah Faber. You say that's a mistake. He's not in that division. Oh, he is now. Uriah Faber dropping down to the bantamweight division to take on Takeya Mitsugaki, who went 5 tremendous rounds with Miguel Torres.
Well, you know, Uriah Faber, you know, if he can make the weight class, I say he's going to do big things in that weight class. And people forget, he beat Dominic Cruz before. It was at 145, but you got to think that's got to give Uriah Faber a lot of confidence going into that division. Mitsugaki is very, very tough. It's going to be an exciting fight.
Tickets are on sale now. All you have to do is go to WEC.TV for more information on that fight. Still to come, a Canadian showdown between Mark Hominick and Yves Jaboué, a fight that has been 8 years in the making Also, undefeated Kamal Shalaroos has his eye on the lightweight title, but former champ Jamie Varner has his own ideas on recapturing the belt. But coming up next, it's Josh Grisby taking on L.C. Davis. In a wide-open featherweight division, the top 145-pound fighters in the world are scrambling to prove themselves worthy of a shot at the belt. Contenders Josh Grisby and L.C. Davis are no different, and they're not only calling for the champion, they're willing to fight each other tooth and nail to find out who moves closer to featherweight gold.
Getting a win over Josh Grisby, another tough opponent, will get me one step closer to getting a shot at the belt.
To be the best, you got to beat the best, so that's all you got to do.
A talented phenom who many see as the future of the 145-pound weight class. Josh Grisby has lived up to the hype with wins over Mark Hominick, Micah Miller, and Jens Pulver that have only lasted a combined 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Next, he looks to make L.C. Davis his fourth victim.
LC's a great fighter, and he's a lefty. That's more of my strong point, is fighting the lefty. So I know how to pick my shots, and all I gotta do is put my right hand on his chin and put him to sleep and end the night.
4-year mixed martial arts veteran L.C. Davis has been given no shortcuts on his way to prominence in the featherweight division. But with each passing victory, he has cemented his place among the best. Tonight, he brings a 3-fight winning streak and an unyielding will to win into the cage against Josh Grisby.
He's a very aggressive fighter. He's aggressive standing up. He's aggressive on the ground. So I'm going to be ready right when the bell rings, and I'm going to meet fire with fire.
The gloves are on and final preparations are complete. Josh Grisby versus L.C. Davis are set to go when we return to World Extreme Cage Fighting. All right, thank you, Liam. Stick around for the Daily Lines Ground and Pound edition right after the fights as we welcome you back inside Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as the WEC has gone international. Todd Harris along with Kenny Florian and Craig Hummer, glad to have you with us as we continue on a great card as we take a look at a tale of the tape set for this featherweight bout scheduled for 3 rounds. Josh Grisby checks in, 21 years of age, 5'11", 145, and a 74-inch reach. His opponent, L.C. Davis, 29 years of age, 5'8", 146, and a 69-inch reach. Should be a great bout as we get set inside the cage. We send it in to Bruce Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the WEC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding professional record, 16 wins, 2 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri, L.C. Davis. And now introducing his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 13 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Rockland, Massachusetts, Josh the Fluke Grisby. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Eve Loving.
Protect yourself at all time will be my command at all time. If you want to touch that, do it now. Go back to your corner.
So it will be L.C. Davis and Josh Grisby getting together in the featherweight division. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds.
Are you ready, sir? You ready? Fight!
Grisby is a huge 145-pounder. He's been representing Massachusetts extremely well. Both of these guys are undefeated in the WEC, 3-0. The big difference between these two, though, is L.C. Davis has been more active. Grisby's been out of the cage a little over a year now. Let's see if that has developed any ring rust for him here.
Well, you remember his last fight came in June of '09, so almost a complete year when he beat Jens Pulver in the first round. Josh Grisby getting healed up, rash of ailments, says he's 100%. He looks to be in fantastic shape.
Really is. Just a very big and athletic 145-pounder. A lot of power, long reach.
LC Davis coming off that victory just 3 months ago against Davidas Torsavicius.
LC Davis is very smooth with his boxing. Very technical boxing, in and out, great footwork, throws very straight punches, sets everything up very nicely. And you couple that with his wrestling skills and his ability to grind down his opponents, and he's just a very difficult opponent to beat. He puts it together extremely well.
Keep doing it. Way ahead. Watch his left hand. Keep doing what you're doing.
Grispy's got to be careful with that left hand from the southpaw stance of LC Davis, because he's kind of backing up and raising his chin up in the air. Like you saw it right there. Right. When he feinted, you could see Grispy go back and raise his chin. And if LC Davis is picking up on that, he could follow up with both a left hand and a right hook. Grispy has to keep his hands up, and he keeps doing it, which is not a good sign. Hopefully Grispy is able to kind of slip off to the side as opposed to going back. And hopefully his corner catches onto it, tells him to tuck his chin in, because LC Davis will take advantage of that. He has power, and there he goes in for the takedown.
Wow, look at the strength of LC Davis. And Grispy locks up the closed guard. Did he drop his head down too far, though?
Grispy's got this pretty tight, Todd. He may be putting him to sleep here. I think he's out.
That's
he's
it.
out.
That is it.
Josh Grispy, I tell you what, this kid just finds a way to win. He's a winner. You know, it may not look pretty when he's up there on his feet, but he puts it all together and he finds a way to win every single time.
You said something about ring rust. I didn't see from Josh Grispy, maybe the first 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, this kid, Grispy, just, whether it's on the ground or on the feet, he'll always find a way to just pull off the victory.
Well, LC rushes in, the head goes down, and Grispy immediately recognizes it.
Great takedown, great start from LC Davis. He was controlling the tempo, putting the pressure on Grispy. Grispy immediately wrapped up that guillotine, and what he did, which was very good, was he squared up to try to get more leverage on that neck, and LC Davis was in trouble. Put him right to sleep.
We'll be back to talk to Josh Grispy when we return to Canada live on Versus. Back inside Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. WEC, we send it inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 33 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to a guillotine choke, Josh "The Fluke" Grispy.
So the 21-year-old Grispy moves his record to 14-1 in the featherweight division. He's standing by with Craig Hummer.
Josh, as the fight started, Todd and Kenny were talking about possible ring rust. You showed that clearly was not the case, and as you know, this sport is all about maximizing opportunities.
Yeah, I'm too young for ring rust, but I would say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out here. I thank God, first of all, and I know I was so nervous for this fight, but came out here and did my thing. I thank South Shore Sports Fighting. Everyone back at home praying for me. I love you all, and Happy Father's Day.
Speaking of Father's Day, your father has been a huge part of your success. Can you think of any better gift for him?
No, that's what he wanted, so I gave it to him.
Jose Aldo is the standard in your division. He's got what you want. You're now 14-1. Are you ready to test your skills against his?
For sure, I'm ready to test my skills against anyone. I told, in win or lose, I want to fight the best and test myself. Whatever the WC wants, I'll do.
You've set it up. Congratulations again. Your winner, Josh Grispy.
So a devastating performance by the Fluke, Josh Grispy, and what a Father's Day gift for him. This August, the UFC returns live to Versus. Young phenom John Jones takes on veteran striker Vladimir Myashenko in a showdown of two of the world's premier light heavyweight fighters. The UFC on Versus live August 1st. That's at 9 Eastern. Still to come, Canadian bragging rights are on the line with Yves Jaboué takes on Mark Hominick inside the cage. Then, Jamie Varner plans on handing Kamal Shalarus his first loss, but the Prince of Persia knows that a victory tonight puts him in line for a shot at the lightweight title. But coming up next, Eric Koch takes on Bendy Casimir in a featherweight bout. Welcome back to Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on a beautiful Father's Day in the Great White North. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Eric Koch, 21 years of age, 5'9", 145 and a half, his reach 70 inches. Bendy Casimir, 29, 5'5", 145 and a half, and his reach 70 inches. We now send it inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the WEC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 19 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 145 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Bendy Casimir. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Eric Newbreed Koch. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Eve Loving.
Okay, protect yourself at all times, obey my command at all times. Tu te protèges en tout temps, obéis mes commandements tout temps. If you want to dodge left, do it now. Si tu veux toucher les gants, fais-le maintenant.
Yves Levine giving his instructions bilingually. That's talent. Bendy Casimir and Eric Koch set to get together in the featherweight division of the WEC.
T'es prêt? Are you ready, sir? Fight!
You can see Koch right off the bat trying to get eye level with Casimir. And as a striker going against a grappler, that's going to aid him in trying to avoid the takedowns and the clinch. And that was a heavy, heavy leg kick to the outside of the right leg of Casimir, and that's going to slow him down as this fight goes forward.
So it's Bendy Casimir out of Paris, France in the white trunks. Eric Koch fighting out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa in the red trunks. And it's Bendy Casimir who shoots first. Getting a single. Koch, though, defends it well.
Koch doing a very nice job of utilizing that jab, getting nice and low, getting good power on it, and really just being very nice and loose. Much like a ball on a chain with that jab. Flicking it out there, it's going to make it faster, harder to read. And Casimir trying to go for a sacrifice throw there. And unfortunately, he's on his back here against Koch. Not a great position. Unfortunate start here for him.
Almost pulled Eric Koch into a mount position.
Yeah, and he's in half guard, which is almost as bad. If Koch can take advantage of this, could really start to rain down some elbows and some punches, try to hurt Casimir.
Well, the ball, so to speak, is in Eric Koch's court. He has a lot of opportunity now to take advantage of this position that's really been handed to him by Bendy Casimir.
Yeah, Koch was trying to set up a choke there from half guard. It was a nice attempt and shows the skill level that he possesses on the ground. You know, we talked about Casimir having the advantage on the ground. I believe that to be true, but Koch is no joke.
Wow.
This kid is very fluid, knows where he needs to be, had a nice guard pass on Casimir. He's showing that he's a true contender here, but a nice reversal from Casimir. Beautiful sweep to get on top of Koch here.
Koch controlling the hand of Bendy Casimir. Reverses now, trying to get himself into...
Oh, he's in a triangle choke
situation.
Thought this is not good. Using those long legs and now elbows.
And Bendy Casimir's got to posture up.
This is over. He's gonna finish him here, Todd. If he can push that elbow across, he's gonna finish him, and he will. Needs to pull down on that head and raise his hips. and he just took away his counter by grabbing the leg. Casimir is in trouble. He needs to pull down on that head and raise his hips, and he's gonna finish him right here. He's in a bad position.
That's it.
There it is.
That is it.
Tell you what, Coke, whether it's on the ground or on the feet, is going to be a tough guy to deal with here at 145 pounds.
All right, let's go back and look at the setup from Eric Coke.
Beautiful transitions, because you had Bendy Casimir, who had a wonderful sweep, got on top, but then it was Coke who came with a move of his own, transitioned very beautifully right into a triangle choke using those long legs. You could see him pulling down on the head, raising the hips. Textbook triangle choke from Eric Coke.
Good triangle.
So Eric Coke gets the victory in the first round. We go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 1 second of the very first round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a triangle choke, Eric Newbreed Coke.
As we send it back inside the cage, Craig Hummer is standing by with our winner.
Eric, beforehand, you talked about how you wanted to put some fierceness into this fight. A lot of people thought it was going to be the striking, but you got that opportunity with the triangle choke. Tell me exactly what sort of message you think this fight is going to send.
I hope it sends a message out to the 145 division. I'm no slouch. I may look like a kid, but I'm here to fight.
Speaking of which, a lot of people are giving you credit for your toughness and your ring presence at only 21 years of age. What building blocks do you think, though, you need for your game to be more complete?
I just want to keep training hard. No matter what, this is what I love to do. There's nothing else for me.
You showed it right there. You certainly love your job. Your winner, Eric Coke.
Still to come, Jamie Varner and Kamal Chalaroos take the cage in our main event of the night. And coming up next, Montreal, Quebec native Yves Jaboué takes on Mark Hominick from Temford, Ontario for Canadian bragging rights when we return to Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta. All right, thank you, Liam. We want to remind you to stick around for the Daily Lines Ground and Pound edition right after this fight. And we are set to go with our co-main event in the featherweight division. It'll be Mark Hominick taking on Yves Jaboué. Countryman Mark Hominick and Yves Jaboué have proudly set the standard for lighter-weight fighters in Canada over the years. But tonight, they will have to meet in the cage for the right to be called Canada's best featherweight.
It's the WEC Canadian Championship right there. I know that the title doesn't exist, but in our hearts and our heads, this is what it represents.
This fight is 8 years in the making. We came up in the Quebec-based promotions. We were supposed to fight a few times. The fight just never happened. I'm just glad it's happening at this point in my career on this stage.
Having scored his last 5 wins by knockout, it's clear that Montreal's Yves Jaboué's reputation as a finisher is well-deserved. But no victory would be bigger for the Tiger than the one he hopes to score tonight over Mark Hominick.
I'm faster, I'm more explosive than he is, and I pack more power.
Temford, Ontario native Mark Hominick is one of Canada's MMA pioneers, a veteran of 25 fights and have seen him take on the best the sport has to offer. Fresh from 2 straight wins, the machine looks to make it 3 in a row against Yves Jaboué.
Every time I've went through this fight in my head, I see a knockout, and that's what I'm going for tonight. I'm going for a stoppage.
Corner, they call him the Tiger. Yves Jaboué, born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, now fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 31 years of age, an impressive record, 14-5, a very well-rounded fighter, Kenny Florian.
Well, we share the same trainer, Firas Zahabi, and I've spent a lot of time training with Yves up in Montreal at TriStar Gym, and I can say from first-hand experience that Yves is a very talented fighter. very hard to put on his back. He's extremely fast, versatile striker, both with his hands and with his legs. And I tell you, he's got excellent movement. And this fight just has the makings of a war. I'm surprised we haven't seen this fight put together in the past. Both of these guys, as was mentioned earlier, they came up in the same promotion. And these guys are very motivated to fight each other.
Yves Jaboué submitted Brian Caraway round one of armbar back in January 10th of this year, but he did have a setback losing to Josh Grisby, who we saw a little while ago. So it'll be interesting to see how he rebounds on home soil.
Yeah, Hominick lost to Grisby. Jaboué actually had a setback in his last fight against Assunção. And, you know, that was a very close fight. I think he learned a lot from that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back here against now a Hominick, who I think who now has felt very comfortable here in the WEC.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light fighter profile. Bud Light, here we go. Most wins coming by way of KO. As you said, Kenny, a very explosive striker, the Canadian amateur kickboxing champion.
Looks like he's in phenomenal shape. See David Loiseau, Peter King, and Greg Jackson in his corner. He looks ready to go. Excellent athlete.
Making his way inside Rexall Place. The 27-year-old with a load of experience, 17-8.
Hominick has a tremendous amount of experience. He's fought all over the world. Comes from a great camp. Spends a lot of time in both Toronto and Las Vegas for his training camps. And you can see him, he looks pretty excited to get in the cage. He's sprinting out there.
Yeah, and as you rightly corrected me, he is coming off that victory over Brian Caraway. Did lose to Josh Grisby and also had a setback rear naked choke to Ronnie Yahya. But he has fought some of the best in the featherweight division, no question about it. Lots and lots of experience for Mark Hominick. Hominick goes through his final preparations here, cage side, as we take a look once again at our Bud Light fighter profile. North American kickboxing champion, excellent cardio, very, very fast hands. You thought Eddie Wineland had fast hands. Mark Hominick has got the speed.
Yeah, and he's more of a traditional stance, keeps his hands up, just very technical. Everything he does is smooth and fast. Very, very pretty striker to watch. Very technical. And he can get it done on the ground, too. Has a very slick triangle choke.
Well, this will be his first fight in Canada in 4 years. He wants to make it a memorable one. So Mark Hominick now inside the cage in Canada. As we take a look at the tail of the tape for this featherweight bout scheduled for 3 rounds. Hominick, 27 years of age, 5'8", 144.5 pounds. His reach, 68.5 inches. Yves Jaboué, 31 years of age, 5'6", 145, and almost an identical reach. We go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide, now available at tapout.com. And the Dark Custom World of Harley Davidson. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the WEC Featherweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 14 wins, 5 losses, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Yves Tiger Jaboué. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding a professional record, 17 wins, 8 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 144 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Thamesford, Ontario, Canada, Mark the Machine Hominick. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Vern Gorman.
Gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, you're both aware of the rules. Remember to listen to my commands at all times. Remember to protect yourself at all times. Fight clean, fight hard, touch them up. Have a good one.
So we're set to go in the co-main event from Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. 2 Canadians meet inside the cage. Yves Jaboué and Mark Hominick.
Corner. Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Mix it up. Yves is a very fast starter. You know, if I had to look at their styles, I'd say they are similar. They're both very technical. Yves likes to get a little more fancy with some of his kicks. He's probably the more powerful striker, whereas Hominick's probably the more precise striker. But it's very close all the way around. These guys are going to put on, in my opinion, the fight of the night. But it's going to be tough to beat out that Wineland-Campuzano fight.
And look at the speed these featherweights are working at. Right away, it's Yves Jaboué pushing the pace. Mark Hominick continues to stalk.
Yves is being very active right off the bat. Hominick kind of picking his shots, landed a nice right hand earlier. You look for Hominick. He does a great job of using his left hook to go right to the liver. He does this very often and uses it in very quick combinations. Yves will use a lot of his hands to set up his kicks. He is very dynamic and fast kicks. He's also very tough to put on his back, Todd.
Well, the movement from Yves Jaboué and the counter punching is amazing. It looks like Mark Hominick is trying to find his pace here.
It's almost like he's waiting for Yves to stop striking.
Yeah,
He's not. He's just not. He's very, very busy, and he likes to get that fast start.
Fitness shouldn't be a question for you, these fighters.
It's unbelievable how active Yves is. He has not stopped striking. He's not allowing Hominick to get any sort of rhythm going, which I think is a very good thing to do, because once Hominick gets his range and gets his rhythm, he will start to pick you apart, and Yves just not letting him get anything started here. Very active.
Wow. Misses by inches.
There's that fancy kick I was talking about, and he'll do it extremely fast, and he'll land it if you let him. Very nice 1-2 from Hominick.
Wow. Yves is really doing some damage to the face of Mark Hominick now. The jabs, the straight rights.
Yves has been on a steady diet of using his jab. I saw him at TriStar Gym working it repeatedly.
I mean, he's attacking so many different angles.
He really is. It's not only the jab that he's using either, but that's what sets up the rest of his strikes. And you can see it, Yves is just extremely active, and he's starting to slow down a little bit, it seems. Hominick putting the pressure on, not necessarily with his striking, but with his footwork. He's coming forward and trying to pressure Yves, but Yves is just, again, continues to throw a lot of strikes. I'd love to see the punch count at the end of this fight.
I'd like to see the punch count at the end of the first round.
Unbelievable.
And you got to start wondering now, if you're Mark Hominick's corner, does he weather this first storm, this flurry, and what kind of fitness Yves Jaboué has? If this goes into 3 rounds, this is going to be Mark Hominick's fight to win.
You're right. Many times we see with the fast twitch fighters, you know, they're very fast. There's a beautiful spinning back fist, but sometimes their endurance can be called into question.
Going that hard for 5 rounds. I mean, for 5 minutes.
If this goes into the 3rd round, again, we could see it could come down to the cardio. Both these guys are in great shape, but you got to think, no matter what kind of shape you're in, if you're this busy, it's hard not to slow down. Hominick tried to jump on him with the left hook there. One of his best punches. Ooh, nice shot by Hominick. Eve needs to continue to move that head so he can stay out of the way of that jab and that right cross.
Under a minute to go here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3. 2 Canadians going at it here at Rexall Place.
Eve is even fainting with that spinning back fist. And I'd be lying if I said I haven't been hit with that in training. He's very, very fast with it.
Who do you compare him to that's in the UFC or the WEC right now?
You know, it's hard. He's just so active. Very, very active. Very technical.
Well, he's coming with so many different levels. Body shots, inside leg kicks. You talked about the swinging, spinning back fist. We've seen the kicks. Mark Hominick's felt the kicks.
There's that liver punch.
Yep.
Nice punch by Hominick. But you got to feel Eve has been the busier fighter and probably won the round.
And when we return to Edmonton live on Versus.
This is the kind of dynamic striking that Jeboin brings into the cage here. Sets it up with a jab, spinning back fist. That was just one of the many strikes that he threw in that first round.
He starts off with a straight left to the jaw of Mark Hominick. Yves Jaboué in the white trunks, Mark Hominick in the red trunks. It's an all-Canadian fair here in Edmonton.
Let's see if they can keep up that brutal pace that they kept in the first round.
You talk about the punch count. I mean, it's staggering the amount of shots that both men are throwing and taking.
Hominick is able to back up Jeboin with a nice combination. Eve fires back with a kick.
There it is again. He comes with that left liver punch.
As far as most devastating shots, you got to watch for Hominick's left hook. He'll go upstairs. He'll also go to the liver, and that was a spinning elbow by Eve. That landed. You don't see too many of those, and what a right hand by Hominick. What a fight, Todd. Both these guys are throwing some amazing combinations here.
And the beautiful thing is it's 2 Canadians doing battle on Canadian soil.
You know, we talked about the left hook of Hominick being one of his better strikes. And it's Eve's kicks and his right hand that you got to watch out for. Nice little elbow. I think he's thrown every strike in the book.
I think you're right. At every level, he's taken the shot. But you start to watch Eve, is his pace slowing down? It had to from round
There's
number 1.
There's the liver punch we were talking about. That landed very clean. Eve needs to get out of there, circle out, and do something. He cannot pin himself up against the cage.
The big left of Mark Hominick.
Oh! Nice spinning elbow that landed on Hominick, but now he's giving up his back.
He is still in recovery mode after Mark Hominick landed that beautiful left to the liver.
That's the punch we knew he had to watch out for. And that is just taking the life out of it. Oh! And now he's landed that right hand. This fight is ridiculous.
Yves Jaboué now goes in as Mark Hominick is thrown back on the canvas.
You gotta be kidding me. How's that for a change of momentum?
Oh, Canada, this is good. 2:30 to go in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3.
He rolled him right into the mount.
Oh, my.
He cannot give up this position against Hominick. Hominick is very good here.
Improve your position.
He will just tactically pick Eve apart. What can he do, though? Give up his back at this point. It's not really an alternative.
He needs to try to trap the arm and roll, or he needs to get back to his guard by pushing on the knee of Hominick. Eve is obviously very, very tired. That body shot took a lot out of him here, and his own pace may have did him in as well because he's kept a furious pace. He needs to get out of this position, Todd, or the ref's going to step in here and stop
That's it. That
and he has.
is it.
Hominick saying he still has a lot of energy left, doing push-ups in the middle of the cage. What a fight from both of these individuals. I would love to see a rematch. I mean, these guys put on a show.
for the Edmonton fans.
An instant Canadian classic here on the WEC. Let's go back and see where it all started in round number 2, and it had to be the big left, the liver punch from Mark Hominick.
There it is, landed clean. Very precise striker is Hominick. We thought he wasn't going to be able to come back, but now look at the right hand. That dropped Hominick. Even a great position to try to finish him off, or at least hurt him. Hominick has a very underrated ground game. Swept Eve right into the mount. And just, there was nothing Eve could do. He could only raise his arms over his head to try to protect himself. What an amazing fight.
We'll talk to the winner when we return to Edmonton live on Versus. Back inside Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on a beautiful Father's Day at the end of a Canadian classic. We go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vern Gorman has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 21 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by TKO, Mark the Machine Hominick.
So Mark Hominick runs his record to 18-8 in the featherweight division. What a great bout. He's standing by with Craig.
Mark, the anticipation lived up to the hype. Congratulations. How surprised were you, though, with Eve withstood those body shots?
He's a tough man. Like you said, that fight was 8 years in the making. So this was the most emotional fight I've ever been in. First off, for that it was going on so long. Next to this Father's Day, I lost my dad just over 4 years ago, so it's really emotional. And my wife and I just bought our first house, so I'm so excited.
Congratulations on the new home. How much were you phased, though, when he caught you on the chin on that, when he just found that little bit of energy?
You know what? That's the first time in my whole career that I've ever had someone live up to their word, saying they're going to stand toe-to-toe with me. And that's the kind of fight you're going to get with me if you stand toe-to-toe.
Speaking of standing, how do you think you now match up against Jose Aldo? You've already seen Josh Grisby tonight put in a great match. 45 division is looking deeper and deeper.
You know what? Every man in this division is so top, but there's no one in this division can bring to the table what I bring to the table against Jose Aldo. I think another great fight, no disrespect whatsoever. I think another great fight would be myself and Leonard Garcia.
The Battle of Canada has been settled coming into this fight. You both talked, though, about Destiny putting you two together. Where do you think Destiny's going to take you now?
Well, you know what? Things in life happen for a reason, and it's happened at this point in my career on this stage, and all I can do is take this win and go to the top.
Put it together, Rexall. There's your winner, Mark Hominick.
What a great fight, an instant classic here on Canadian soil. Two great Canadian fighters. Coming up next, it's a special live ground and pound edition of the Daily Line on Versus. WEC insider Ariel Helwani joins the cast to break down all of tonight's cage fighting action. Plus, don't miss Rob's picks of the night and Jen's web streaming now at Versus.com. The Daily Line live next, right here, only on Versus. Jamie Varner plans on handing Kamal Shalarus his first loss, but the Prince of Persia knows that a victory tonight puts him in line for a shot at the lightweight title. But coming up next, Karan Darabedian takes on Will Kerr in a lightweight bout. Welcome back to Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as the WEC has gone international. As we take a look at the tail of the tape for this lightweight bout. Karan Darabedian, 23 years of age, 5'7", 155.5 pounds. His reach is 68 inches. Will Kerr, 27 years of age, 5'10", 155, and a 69-inch reach as we go inside the cage. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the instructions. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back. Let's do this.
So it will be Karan Darabedian Darbedian and Will Kerr in the lightweight division from Edmonton.
Gentlemen, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Look for a quick start here from Karin Darbedian. Really likes to get off early and often put together those combinations, but it's Will Kerr who starts fast.
The Connecticut Flash coming forward and taking the fight to Karin Darbedian in the first 5 seconds.
Good job by Will Kerr to pressure him with nice punches. Darbedian was forced to back up right up against the cage, wasn't able to circle there. And Will Kerr gets some momentum here. He's looking to try to rough him up in that clinch position.
Now, he might not have inflicted much damage on that Russian, but hey, you put your opponent on his heels in the first 10 seconds.
No, definitely, it lets him know that he's here, he's serious, here to inflict some damage.
What a great job of tying up Darbedian.
Now Darbedian works for a great reversal to get off the cage, pressure Will Kerr, and then work for a nice inside trip. Worked a nice takedown there. Will Kerr trying to use his back up against the fence to try to get back to his feet, and he's working for a nice arm lock.
Look at this. Darbedian's in trouble. That's it. That is it.
Wow. Wow. Someone watch that last fight. That is a huge, huge upset. Will Kerr surprising Karin Darbedian with a beautiful armbar right off of his back.
He set this thing up so nicely, Kenny.
He postured up and left his arm available for Will Kerr to snatch up. And Will Kerr wasted no time of locking up that arm. And once he had the leverage, once he threw that leg over the head, it was over. Will Kerr with a huge upset. This win right here did great things for his career. What a great win.
And you said it. Someone watched the last fight because Bart Pawaszewski did the same thing, caught Karin Darbedian in an armbar.
In the same way, you know?
You got to go back and work on that, I guess, if you're Karin Darbedian's camp. Well, we go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Rosenthal has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 20 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by tap out due to an armbar, Will Kerr.
Let's stay inside the cage. Craig Hummer has your winner.
Somebody's been watching some tape on their opponents right there. Talk us through how you made the most of that opportunity.
To be honest, that wasn't the game plan. I was going to stand and maybe go for a takedown later on, but it just happened that way. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the fans, my team that helped me get here. I'm sorry. I made it.
It's okay to be emotional, my friend. Let's talk, though, about the aggressiveness that you came out with. How eager were you to erase the memories of your last fight and that loss to Kamal?
Totally. I wanted to move past that and come out and prove that I belong here and that I can compete at this level. And thank you very much to everybody that came out.
Moving on, you said you want to prove that you belong at this next level. What do you need to do to improve your game, do you think?
Oh, everything, get better at everything all the time. I just got to get better at everything and do even better next time.
You're the best one here tonight. Congratulations. Your winner, Will Kerr.
Thank you very much.
Final preparations are being made for our main event of the night. Jamie Varner versus Kamal Shalarus when we return to World Extreme Cage Fighting. The WEC on Versus is brought to you by Amp Energy. Amp Energy is letting the fans decide where to hold a WEC event. Vote for your area at ampenergy.com/WEC. Plus, hit up the nearest Hess or Maverick to enter to win a trip to the fight. And by Hankook Tires. Tame the road with Hankook Tires. From the great one to a great one. World Extreme Cage Fighting live from Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we have reached the main event of the night. Jamie Varner, the former lightweight champion, set to take on Kamal Shalarus. Alongside Kenny Florian, I'm Todd Harris. Glad to have you with us. Once again, happy Father's Day. Well, we've made it to the main event. Kenny, this is shaping up to be a great bout.
It's going to be a great fight. Look for Varner to want to try to keep it on the feet, but Shalarus is going to be shy to trade blows either. He's got very heavy hands. Look for him to also use his strike to try to get Varner on his back, and it's going to be, I think it's going to come down to the wrestling, but there's going to be some amazing strikes exchanged. These guys are going to look to try to take each other out right from the beginning.
A lot of anticipation. We are set to go here in Canada as the WEC goes international. A world champion eager to regain his crown. A hungry contender looking to pave his own way to the title. Tonight, former lightweight champion Jamie Varner clashes with unbeaten Kamal Shalarus in a high-stakes bout that will only be decided when one man has broken the will of the other.
Kamal Shalarus is the toughest guy you never heard of. I mean, no disrespect by that, but he's a very tough guy. He's pretty new on the scene, so a win over a guy like this could give me that title shot again, and that's what's really most important to me.
I want to fight the toughest guy. To be Jamie Varner, he's been champion. For me, it's a big bridge to reach the title. That's the good challenge for me.
Jamie Varner ruled the lightweight division for nearly 2 years, defeating the likes of Rob McCullough, Marcus Hicks, and Donald Cerrone in the process. Tonight, the dynamic Arizona native begins on the road back to the top, but Kamal Shalarus stands between Varner and a coveted return to glory.
I want to fight whoever's got that world title. So whether it be Ben Henderson or someone else, that's my goal. That's where my eyes are set on. That's what I'm working towards.
Known for his world-class wrestling, Kamal Shalarus has thrilled fight fans over the last year with the type of punching power that makes him one of the most dangerous lightweights in the game today. Fresh off wins over Will Kerr and Dave Jansen, Shalarus looks to make a statement to the world against Jamie Varner.
I'm ready for anywhere Jamie goes, and I'm ready. If he's a strike, I love striking. If he's a wrestle, I'm gonna wrestle. Anywhere he go, I'm gonna go fight.
I don't know if he's gonna really want to stand in the pocket and trade with me. He has done that in the past, but I feel like I'm the best striker he's ever faced.
My boxing sharp, I've practiced my takedowns. This is super fast, no escape.
If he takes me down, I'm gonna turn into a fight on the ground, going for submissions and strikes.
Nobody can stop my aggression, my heavy hand, and my wrestling. Because I'm seeing my destiny. I want to be champion, and nobody gonna stop me.
The Prince of Persia, originally from Iran, now fighting out of Austin, Texas, Kamal Shalarus, 37 years of age. This is a guy, Kenny Florian, that he could be a nightmare for you. You get him on the wrong night, he can throw bombs on you with those fists.
He's a powerful guy, and that's what surprised so many people, because he does come in with world-class wrestling skills, and everybody says, well, you got to watch out for his wrestling. And here he is taking guys out with his hands as well. So he definitely is a double threat here. And Varner has to be careful. You know, we've seen it with other guys where, you know, maybe they're not the most technical strikers in the world, but all it takes is one shot, and Kamal has that kind of power. Right. If he lands on you, it could be a quick night.
Kamal Shalarus making his way to the cage here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Truly an international night of great fighting live on Versus. As he goes through his final preparations, we will take a look at the Bud Light fighter profile for the Prince of Persia. He's listed as a freestyle fighter, but really with a great wrestling base, very dangerous to the ground and pound. Undefeated, and again, the world-class wrestling thing comes back. That is, you can't take that away from that. It's just something he can always fall back on.
Yeah, and being a world-class athlete, again, he's going to find success in whatever he chooses to do in the athletic realm. You know, making that transition from being a world-class wrestler to a world-class mixed martial artist. You know, he found success in one. He's applying it now to mixed martial arts. You can see he looks in tremendous shape. He's a big 55er, and been competing at a world-class level for a long time now.
Speaking of which, world-class athletes like yourself, I'm surprised we got you here. I thought you might be in South Africa competing at the World Cup with your soccer prowess.
No, never at that level. I wish I was, but
Come on,
I'm enjoying the World Cup, I tell you that.
Kamal Shalarus, the Prince of Persia, inside the cage. He looks to be in fantastic shape and looks for his next victim, his opponent, Jamie Varner. Jamie Varner, born in Phoenix, now training out of nearby Tempe. A very, very talented striker. Maybe misunderstood because some people just think he is the villain of the WEC for some reason. And maybe the best thing for Jamie to do is embrace that because he is a very, very talented fighter.
He is, and he's confident, and a fighter needs that confidence. And a lot of times, the words that they say in their interviews, that fuels them in their training and their preparation for their fight and in the fight itself. So he is an emotional guy. He said some things that may have ticked some people off, but, he's a confident guy, and you're not going to win fights if you're not confident.
No question about it. I think back the first time we saw him in the WEC, go back to 2008 when he took the title off the belt of Rob McCullough in one of the best fights we had seen up that date in the WEC. He showed us some serious striking power, also took out Marcus Hicks, and then he had his situations with a technical decision over Donald Cerrone when he was down on the knee in the inadvertent strike, and then he had some health issues, but a great bout submitted by Ben Henderson. You go back to the first of this year, January 10th. So that is the history of Jamie Varner. But I'm telling you, folks, when he is in top fitness, this guy can do it from anywhere. The striking, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, he's got it all.
No one questions his fighting ability.
Right.
He's got, he definitely has the whole package. The problem is sometimes he makes some mental mistakes out there. He was doing very well against Ben Henderson, then get caught in a guillotine choke. So there's times where he'll have these mental lapses where he'll make some mistakes, and he's going to have to be perfect against a guy like Kamal Shalarus because he can catch it. He can catch you with his wrestling, he can catch you with his power in his hands.
As we take a look at our Bud Light fighter profile for Jamie Varner, he's got the credentials in boxing, certainly has them in wrestling. Most of his wins come by way of submission. Bud Light, here we go. He is a former lightweight champion, as we said, getting that victory over Rob McCullough back in 2008. Defended the title twice, and then lost it to Ben Henderson. So Jamie Varner back inside the WEC cage. It's now time to take a look at the tail of the tape for our main event in the lightweight division. Jamie Varner, 25 years of age, 5'8", 156. His reach, 72 inches. Kamal Shalarus, 37 years of age, 5'8", 155. His reach, 68 inches. It's now time to send it inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, two WEC warriors have now entered the cage as this is the main event of the evening. Seconded by the Edmonton Combatant Sports Commission, represented ringside by Chairman Bang IOM IDs, Executive Director Pat Reed, Commission members Mark Grotsky, Ron Goltz, Sid Bennett, Brian Hogeveen, and Owen Dawkins. Our judges at K-Side are Doc Hamilton, Cecil Peoples, and Cameron Quake. And when the action begins, our referee, Josh Rosenthal. This event is brought to you by Amp Energy, the official energy drink of WEC. Amp Up! And Muscle Farm, fuel for the athlete in you. And Bud Light, here we go. And now, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Rexall Place in Edmonton, Canada, man is a freestyle fighter, only professional record, 6 wins, no losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, Kamal, Prince of Persia, his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses, 2 no contests. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Tet Bay, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, he is a former WEC lightweight champion, Jamie Varner!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over your instructions. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands all times. Defend yourselves all times. Touch gloves, go back. Let's do this.
So we are set to go in the main event of the night. From Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Kamal Shalaroos and the former lightweight champion, Jamie Varner. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds.
Gentlemen, you ready? You ready? Let's fight! Kamal immediately comes to the center of the cage, hands high. A lot of movement from Varner. There's his traditional doubling up on the jab and coming with the cross. He does that extremely well. A lot of movement, nice footwork. Varner likes to come in and out, strike, and get out. And that's what he's going to have to do against Shalaroos here.
I think the key for me as I watch this, Kenny, has got to be the body language of Jamie Varner as this fight goes on. Does he have the confidence? Is he doubting himself? If he has the confidence and is feeling it, he's going to tee it up.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. The kind of mental game that Varner's bringing into this fight here. You can see Shalaroos kind of mixing it up through a very heavy leg kick early on here. Varner teeing up. You can see, as far as technically with the striking, Varner is at a higher level. But Shalaroos, his big equalizer is his power. Nice right hand from Varner that caught the chin of Shalaroos. You can see Varner also has the speed advantage here.
If Jamie Varner can get in and do some damage early on, I think he's going to certainly be able to increase the damage he does later, because the speed and slowing down the persistence push of Kamal Shalaroos as he comes forward.
That, but he has to be careful with the leg kicks of Shalaroos, and he just landed another right hand on Varner.
You look at the left thigh of Jamie Varner, he's already got a welt on there, taking 2 or 3 big leg kicks from Kamal Shalaroos.
And that's smart, because that's going to slow Varner down. Going for a liver punch. Varner leapt in there. He's got to be careful leaping in like that. Nice right hand from Varner. Landed very clean on Shalaroos. He's testing Shalaroos' chin early on here, trying to get some respect from Kamal.
How much of this do you think Kamal Shalaroos takes before he shoots on Varner?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think that should be a big part of his strategy right off the bat. I mean, we haven't seen Varner fight too much off of his back, and you got to think Shalaroos, with his wrestling background, should be utilizing that.
Looks like he may have watched the Uriah Faber Jose Aldo fight, because he is just attacking that lead leg of Jamie Varner with those vicious kicks.
You see Kamal's legs. I mean, I don't think many people want to get kicked with those things.
Oh, a straight right from Varner, stumbles back Kamal Shalaroos.
Kamal likes to swing a lot of hooks, and Varner's throwing straight punches. A straight punch will always land first, and you can see Varner's straight punches and his quickness is paying off. He's getting in, he's landing on Shalaroos and not taking as many shots. Nice level change there from Varner. He has to utilize those feints against Kamal, keep him guessing as to what he's going to do. I'm very surprised that Shalaroos isn't trying to pressure him with some wrestling here. Big shot! Wow. That hurt Kamal Shalaroos.
He's in trouble. Jamie Varner
from Varner.
moves quickly. Now he's throwing the leather.
He landed a nice uppercut, and he's fired up. This is what he wants. He wants a scrap here. That's going to be a little discouraging. Varner landed a huge bomb. He had Chalarousse hurt, but he recovered, raises his hands and screams. This is what he wants.
Under a minute to go here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3. Jamie Varner in the white trunks. Kamal Chalarousse comes in, tries to get a single, and Varner escapes.
Nice defensive wrestling from Varner there. Kamal really didn't get a good bite on that leg. Nice body kick there. Varner really does a great job of sitting down on his punches. That's why he's able to create so much power there. Varner is just very well trained in that area of boxing.
Those are some
very
big
technical.
shots from Chalarousse.
These guys are trading with some huge shots.
Big power coming from both men as we go under 20 seconds here in round number 1. Varner looks fresh as he circles the cage, and we will come back for round number 2 when we come back to Rexall Place in Edmonton.
Kamal Chalarousse landed some great leg kicks, but it was the right hand of Varner that was the best shot, and that really hurt Kamal. You can see him try to get his equilibrium back. Varner's speed has really been giving Chalarousse a lot of problems here in that first round.
Kamal Chalarousse took a beating there, but just kept coming forward. And Jamie Varner, as you pointed out, Kenny, he's got to be a little disheartened. He's like, what do I have to do to this guy? If he can continue to do the 3 rounds of that and avoid those leg kicks, I think Jamie Varner's going to be in good shape. But Kamal Chalarousse, those leg kicks are just chopped down a tree with one of those.
Both of these guys are showing some serious beards here. They're both been taking shots in that first round and coming back with some big shots back and forth. This is a definite war, as expected. Varner coming with the big overhand right. He should stay with what he's doing. He's doing a good job of just landing the shots. He should use his speed and not think so much about power. He should just come with the quick combinations because he's been successful with that. Kamal trying to pressure him here. And again, I got to think, I mean, wrestling should be a big part of his strategy here, especially as we're starting to get towards the later part of the round. Chalarousse should just use his striking, not only to try to hurt Varner, but set up those takedowns. He needs to go back to that. Try to put Varner on his back here.
That's a low shot there, and Varner's going to take advantage of it. Josh Rosenthal.
We talk about it all the time, those inside low kicks to the leg. A lot of times will find its way up to the groin. That was an accidental kick.
No coaching, guys. No coaching.
Varner
no coaching.
has some time here to recover.
Sure. You got time. Take us. Let's go. You good? Okay.
Take up to 5 minutes. He says, let's go.
Gentlemen.
Inadvertent kick from Kamal Chalarousse.
Chalarousse comes again strong with a lead left kick. Definitely, I mean, a part of his game plan is trying to take out that leg of Varner, whether it's inside or outside. He's trying to slow Varner down. Varner still has a lot of good movement, though. Nice combination. You can see the speed. He's landing that again and again. That left hook, right hand. It's been a great combination for Varner in his other fights as well, but he's really exploiting that against Chalarousse here. The story of this fight is really, it's the kicking game of Chalarousse versus the hands of Varner. And now we have another groin shot. Very unfortunate.
You got the time. All right, Jay.
That one was a little more direct, and that's a problem when you go with the leg kicks and you've got a boxer that's going to come forward like Jamie Varner.
Yeah, those inside leg kicks, that was right there on the money.
And it's going to cost him a point.
Low blow. 1 point, low blow. 1 point, low blow.
This is significant. You know, this isn't a 5-round fight. It's a 3-round fight. And That's tough. That's tough for Chalarus. It's going to be tough for him to come back from this. He's going to have to really try to end this fight now.
Don't make any decisions yet. Take your time.
Because Varner won that first round. I think Varner was getting the better of the exchanges in the second round now.
You got time. You're on the clock. You got time.
Well, he's got up to 5 minutes, and Josh Rosenthal, the official, continues to let him know, just take your time. You've got all the time.
So Chalarus is going to need a huge rest of the second round and another huge third round if he wants to win this. Otherwise, he's going to have to finish it with a TKO, KO, or submission. Because Varner is in control here.
You got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes. Sure? You got 4. You good? Okay.
Varner says, let's go.
Let's fight.
We'll see how this changes the dynamic of the fight.
It's a good point. I mean, will Chalarus stop to go with that inside leg kick? Wow. He went outside with brutal intentions. There he goes inside. So it hasn't changed his strategy.
I think he's got to go with what he knows.
Yep, he just has to be careful not to get disqualified.
These kind of fights seem to follow Jamie Varner, don't they? It's not the Donald Cerrone fight, and this is... Oh, he caught him on the button.
Big kick and big right hand from Varner.
And for the first time, Kamal Chalarus is going backwards.
Go ahead, guys.
But what a recovery. Chalarus says, that's nothing, I'm back.
Wow. He can't take too many of those, though, Todd. He's got to be careful. Chalarus is just a little stiff there. He's got tremendous power, but you can see the fluidity and the movement of Varner. It's way more natural than it is for the wrestler Kamal Chalarus.
I'm still having a hard time believing that Kamal Chalarus has not gone after Varner to try to get him on the ground.
Very, very surprised with that.
Under 90 seconds to go here in round number 2. We've seen just about everything. This one's scheduled for 3. Kamal Chalarus has been docked a point.
Big left hand from Chalarus that stopped Varner in his tracks. You know, there's that balance in the fight of a mixed martial arts fighter where you have to have a strategy and a game plan, but you also have to be entertaining.
Right.
And Chalarus needs to find a better balance, in my opinion. He needs to start working that wrestling to try to, at least, at the very least, confuse Varner and keep him guessing as to what he's going to do.
I gotta wonder what's left in Jamie Varner's legs after the leg kicks he sustained. Could he go to a sprawl? I mean, does he have the strength left to do a good defensive sprawl?
Yeah, you can see right there his movement is very limited. He tried to circle away. This is where those leg kicks, your legs will start to lock up on you.
Under 40 seconds to go here in round number 2.
Chalarus is just chopping away at that lead leg of Jamie Varner. And we'll see if it pays dividends in the third round. Chalarus looking to set up the big right hand and the big leg kick. Chasing Varner, pressuring Varner, but Varner doing a great job of still moving around and countering.
There's a slip by Varner as he went top shelf with that kick.
There's a nice left hook.
Look at this combination. Under 10 seconds to go.
Right hand. Saw Varner dip a little bit after that right hand of Chalarus. Chalarus is grunting. He's putting everything into those strikes.
So we will see a third round here in Edmonton.
Sit down. Sit down.
That combination has been landing again and again for Varner.
Yeah, he hit right on the top of the dome of Kamal Chalarus, and you see him wincing there.
That's the problem. You know, Varner has had problems with his hands. And the thing is, when you throw that overhand right, it will loop, just like we saw with Uriah Faber when he looped, throw the overhand right, broke his hand on the top of the head of Mike Brown, and that's the risk that you take with the little gloves when you're throwing that overhand right. It will land on the top of the head, and that's the hardest part of the body.
Yeah, you gotta have this round.
And Varner may have broken that right hand again.
He's got no power, no force.
Second time. And it looks like Chalarus is complaining about his right hand.
Let's go, gentlemen, let's go.
He's looking at it as well, flexing up. Birthday wishes go out to the lovely Brittany, letting us know that we are into the third and final round here from Edmonton. Jamie Varner, Kamal Shalarus, they have given it all. What do they have left?
Yeah, Shalarus was complaining about that right hand. Both of these guys have been trading big blows here. And there's only so much padding on those gloves. Nice kick from Shalarus going upstairs. He's showing some nice speed. And here we go again. This is the third time.
Let's look at it one more time. This is the third shot.
He's getting more accurate with it every time.
That's what we call dead, solid, perfect.
Yeah. You know, I'm very surprised they're not telling Shalarus to just abandon the inside kick. Just go outside. Go outside, go to the body, go upstairs, but don't go with the inside leg kick because it's too risky at this point. He risks disqualification.
Take your time.
Well, if Jamie Varner can come out of this with a victory, and he does in fact have that broken right hand.
You know, do you see that?
Okay, look, you gotta keep that kick clean, okay?
Okay, I swear I would hit inside kick.
I know. Let's all right, either keep it in the body or keep it lower on the thigh because it keeps
That's the big problem with this kick.
Okay, because I can hear it.
You know, I'm surprised more of the fighters don't use the tie cups, which are made out of steel. The plastic cups aren't enough to protect against a kick. And I'm just very surprised a lot more of the fighters don't use the tie steel cups. I myself use it, and it'll prevent a lot of that. And, you know, plastic's only going to protect so much.
Do they make one out of lead?
Titanium, steel, I think. I'm going to come out with it.
All right, so Jamie Varner has sustained 3 shots, one resulting in a point. This was the first one, more of a glancing shot. Number 2 definitely got some connection. But number 3...
You got 3.5.
Yeah, that was the worst one of them all. And that doesn't tickle.
Take your time. Take your time.
How much time's left in the fight?
It's right at the beginning of the round, buddy.
Let's just go.
Sure? You got a couple more. You got a couple more minutes.
Did you take another point from me?
I didn't take it on this time. It happens again, and it's going again. So.
Fuck, dude.
All right, so Jamie Varner trying to figure out where he is as far as time, what he can do. Do a little negotiating with Josh Rosenthal. 1 point has already been taken away, and as Kenny Florian has pointed out, for Kamal Shalarus, he pretty much has to get a submission or a tap or something to get this victory on the 10-point must system.
Yeah, he's not in a good position right now. And Varner should use this as motivation to keep moving, stay busy. He's doing the right things here. In and out. He's got to use that footwork that he possesses, that speed.
I still can't believe that Shalarus is coming with the kicks. I mean, I would just be a 2-foot region that is just off limits
risky
right now.
Guy, obviously. I mean,
Josh Rosenthal's a patient man, but I think he's at the end of his rope too.
Yeah, Kamal's got to be careful here. Yep, go outside with those kicks, or go upstairs with the
why not leg. Do what got you here? How about some wrestling?
Yep. You know, that right hand is very dangerous from Kamal Shalarus, and we saw him complain a little bit about it, and it's been a while since we've seen him throw that right hand.
He's going all left hand. Now, Kamal Shalarus has no clue, and he's got issues with his hand as well. Yeah, Jamie Varner's all lead jab.
Yeah, we haven't seen Kamal really throw that right hand either, and, you know, we saw him kind of shake it out a little bit. Varner as well.
And here we go.
Finally, we see a takedown from Shalarus. This is something that should have been a part of his game plan from the absolute beginning of this fight. But this may be too little too late here for him.
Jamie Varner in the closed guard now. See what he can establish, not having to use that right fist to punch. Remember, Jamie Varner, a Division I wrestler, so he is no slouch on the ground, but Kamal Shalarus truly is world class.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between wrestling in a D1 program and competing at the highest levels of international freestyle wrestling. So Shalarus definitely has a big advantage. And you see, he hit an outside single, had the high crotch, and he finished it right away. Very clean wrestling from the world-class wrestler, Kamal Shalarus.
But Varner having good defense right now on the ground. On his back, Can Kamal Shalarus score enough points to get the victory?
He's got to posture up here, Todd. He's got to get rid of that grip of Varner, posture up, and start raining down some big blows here. He needs something. He needs to try to work for a TKO. These little shots are not going to do it. He lost the first round. He definitely lost the second round. Maybe big, but probably 10-8.
Yeah, and I think Jamie Varner knows exactly that because he's trying to control the head of Kamal Shalarus.
Yeah, Jamie Varner, you know, this is where the experience comes in. You know, against Kamal, 7 fights. You get true veteran Jamie Varner with almost 20 fights here. Over 20 fights, I'm sorry. Really playing a smart strategy of just controlling and defending, doing enough to prevent damage. And Kamal, it may have even hurt his left hand there. He started using some open palm strikes.
Keep him out the back of the head, Jamie.
Varner, he'll take the rib shots right now. They'll hurt tomorrow. But right now, he just needs to tie up Kamal Shalarus for another just under 90 seconds. Shalarus keeps coming, trying to score points. Varner locking him up. This is the third and final round of the main event.
Kamal showing a lot of heart here, trying to be aggressive, but Jamie Varner doing a great job of using his defense here, using some nice elbows, doing enough to both defend himself and be active off of his back.
Under a minute to go.
By Varner. Almost got up there. And Shalarus is now advancing. He's in the half-guard position. You got to think it's just not going to be enough with under a minute.
Look at this.
Great reversal from Jamie Varner to get back to his feet.
And that might have been the window of opportunity for Kamal Shalarus as they go back to their feet, and we are under 30 seconds in Edmonton.
Jamie Varner, as many leg kicks as he's taken throughout this fight, is still showing a lot of movement, showing both technique and toughness here in this fight.
Final 10 seconds in Edmonton, folks. Enjoy.
Varner heard that 10-second clap and raised his hands. He knows this fight is his.
And that is it. 3 great rounds of action inside the WEC cage.
What a great fight.
Well, Jamie Varner just holding on for dear life in the third round. Look at this reversal. Where did this come from?
He showed that he's not a one-trick pony. He can't fight off his back here. I mean, he showed just such a well-rounded mixed martial arts game here. I mean, beautiful striking here. Very good counter wrestling. And even when he was on his back, great defense, stayed busy there. And again, showed a great reversal to get back to his feet. Great performance from Jamie Varner against a very tough Kamal Shalarus.
I broke my hand the second. Thank you, Kamal.
That was really the difference, the speed of Varner.
Those 1-2s, the hook with the cross. I mean, Varner was just putting together the cleaner combinations, and he was hurting. You could see right there, that was where he hurt that right hand.
And he continues to fight. In the third round, we saw primarily left jabs, straight lefts, and Jamie Varner able to hold off Kamal Shalarus, who got him to the ground, was landing punches, but was it enough to score? Remember, 1 point was taken away from Kamal Shalarus because of the low blows.
You could see right there Stitch cutting off the glove. And anytime you're cutting off the glove, that's not a good sign. I mean, that's a broken hand right there. You could see him yelling. It's confirmed that theory there, and that's too bad because Varner has had problems with his hands. And that's the risk there with the little gloves and going for those shots there.
Interesting to see exactly where Kamal Shalarus got hurt.
Motherfucker, aren't you? You are. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we're cool now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good fight.
Jamie, be honest, you're a cool guy, man. You're a gentleman. I like your respect.
I like you a lot too. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I love how these guys will go to absolute war verbally, then they go to war physically in the cage, and then afterwards it's, hey, let's get together and go to some Tim Hortons.
They're very respectful, true professionals. What a fight.
Yeah, it was tremendous performance by both fighters. So Jamie Varner and Kamal Shalarus in the main event. We sent it inside to get the official word from Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Cameron Quake scores the contest 29-27, Shalarus. Doc Hamilton scores it 29-27, Varner. And Cecil Peoples calls the contest 28-28. Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have declared this contest a draw.
A draw decision, and the folks here in Edmonton are not happy how this all went down. A lot of frustration as we send it back inside the cage. Craig Hummer has a very dejected Jamie Varner.
You're right, Todd. Obviously, this is not a decision that either fighter's happy with. Jamie, heavy hands the first 2 rounds, but clearly when you came back after the second round, you said to your corner that you'd possibly broken your hand. How tough was it for you to fight your way through this?
Hey, I'm pretty sure I broke my right foot, broke my right hand, but I'm not gonna lie. I think that was bogus. I definitely feel I won the fight, but you know what? Kamal Shalarus is now the toughest guy you have heard of, and I have much respect for this guy. He's a warrior, and not only is he a great fighter, he's an even better gentleman. So guys, put your hands together for Kamal Shalarus.
When you and I talked yesterday, you had that look in your eye. You said, I am definitely going to be talking to you tomorrow in the cage. With everything you've gone through over the past few months with your mom, how important is this to be able to share with her, just being here?
My mother's right there. She's my biggest fan, my supporter. She got me into this sport, and it takes a unique mother to have her fighter, to accept her fighter for being a fighter. So accept her son to be a fighter. So, Mom, I love you. My trainers, Todd Lally, Trevor Lally, Ryan Diaz, Steve Rosenberg, you guys are the best.
One of the reasons you have so many fans, obviously, is you wear your emotions on your sleeve. I know it's not the decision you want, but you're racking up these rematch cues, so we know we're going to see something again. Kamal, come on in here for a second. You had some problems locating your kick in a few of the rounds. How disconcerting was that when you lost the point in round 2?
Hey, I swear, I'm not like that. I'm warrior. I don't cheat. But just accident. I tried to low kick his knee because I kick all side kick and inside. I tried to cut down his speed. That was my game plan because Warner is fast and I'm power. I say, okay, I have to cut down his speed. Start with kick inside, outside, and fight.
You are one of the most respectful fighters in the game. Jamie thinks it was the wrong decision. I'm sure you wish the decision went your way. We're going to have to wait to see in the future who gets the rematch. That is it from inside the main event.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. So we end in a draw in Edmonton. What did we learn tonight? Your final thoughts, Kenny Florian.
Well, the same thing we knew going in. We spoke about this. Never leave it to the judges. I mean, I don't think that's a good decision. I really think Varner won that fight clearly. I mean, that could be not only a unanimous decision, a 30-26 decision for Varner.
As we take a look at our hand-cooked tires performance of the night, you got to go with the all-Canadian throwdown. Mark Hominick, Yves Jabouet put on a show for the fans here, their fellow countrymen and women, and what a great performance. And we give the hand-cooked tire performance of the night to Mark the Machine Hominick, getting the victory on home soil. Well, it was a great foray into the international markets for all of us here at the WEC. Congratulations to everyone who took part, and our thanks to the fine folks here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. For all the latest news and information on World Extreme Cage Fighting, head to Versus.com and WEC.tv. For Kenny Florian, Craig Hummer, and our entire Versus crew, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Coming up next, a very special ground and pound edition of the Daily Line live from our New York studios. For now, we say good night from Canada.